Double barrel shotgun is back in the play in the house. So we got new week, new controversies, new games, man. What do you think?
Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
Do do do
It
do
is all so delightful.
do do do
Now the NFL playoffs is coming.
do do
Let it be, let it
do
be,
do do
let it
do.
be.
Ooh boy, and Saturday games too. Let's get
Yeah,
to it.
that's right.
So your host Brian Eve here this week to discuss another episode of Double Barrel Shotgun and give you all the latest and greatest about the NFL. Let's get in the recap section here. Last week's games, Eve. We'll start off with Falcons Steelers. Kind of like what we thought. It started off slow, but it started cooking later on. The point total started moving on up, and the Steelers hold on to win by 7.
So I'm just gonna say this though. You know what? The Steelers are a very, very confusing
I know.
year. It is so crazy. When they play up to their competition. That's how
Oh
I
yeah,
find them.
for sure.
That's how I find them.
Well,
This year has been very crazy. When it's supposed to be the teams that they're supposed to, when teams that are pretty well known, they're gonna be up for. But then when it's for teams that are less than, they play down to. So a real good comment I heard this week was basically when you lose to Tampa Bay and then you lose to the
I
Jets,
know.
do you really consider yourself a Super Bowl team?
I say this, we as a Steelers fan, if we're out of the playoffs, I will have to burn my hat. I feel like, because I know those two games. The moment that Buccaneers game was lost, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
And when they lost the Jets, I say, okay, you know what? The playoffs are going down the drain. Fortunately, we have Cincinnati in our division that keeps letting us back in.
But can you be taken as serious as a Super Bowl contender with those kind of losses like that?
I heard the same segment you're talking about. Here's my thing about it is you best keep the Steelers as a serious Super Bowl contender. I don't care what those guys on ESPN are saying. Because as I said before, I think I told you last week, anytime you got a top 5, arguably top 5 or a top 10 player in 3 skill positions, running back, quarterback, and receiver, that team needs to be reckoned with.
Of course.
Yeah, that team needs to be reckoned with. So, and you still have some playmakers in the defense that can make a play and break a game open. They're not going to be a team that's going to hold anyone to 10 points. I don't know any defense like that anymore, really, maybe. Maybe Seattle potentially, but really, defense are just there to hold the fort these days. That's all it comes down to. No one really has no spectacular defense. So you get hot at the right time. Heck.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. Game number 2, where we have here, Philadelphia, Dallas, the rematch. Thought Dallas would come through. I feel good with the pick. I felt good. I felt good with the pick going against conventional logic, and it turned out to work out well for me because I just felt like Philadelphia was going to get away with that again in this case, and they ran it right down their throats, up the gut, to the left, to the right.
Yeah. Any which way. Couple things on that game. Mark Sanchez sucks. How about that?
That's the other thing too.
Trash, man. Trash. I mean, they have gotten blown up with 3 straight weeks. Bad losses, man.
And the thing is, too, man, we love to break down other quarterbacks, and I won't name those quarterbacks now. But my goodness, man, his accuracy, holy cow. We jumped down some other dude's throats. That guy there had guys wide open and threw about 2 feet inside, just sitting there for picks. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, man. And the thing about it is that it's really now his play has really affected the offense to such a point that Barkley might have to play. You know what I mean? So because this guy's been bad. Man.
USC.
Yeah, man. This has been bad. Just horrific. I don't know what's gone. It's really bad.
It's do or die right now.
Yeah, they got no choice. But
right now they're outside looking in at the moment.
For sure.
I only think one team from that division is getting in.
Right. But here's the other thing, though. Murray busted up his hand, so that's a real serious issue.
He's talking to play. I doubt that. Heck, that there
shouldn't be playing.
What's the ring finger, man?
Yeah, man, you shouldn't be playing.
Yeah, he's a week or 2 with that, so we'll see how it plays out. But Dallas, came strong with it. They had a little lapse like classic Dallas, but they got together in the 4th. Yeah. Last game, Chargers, Broncos. I know you like the lightning bolts. I got a soft spot for the lightning bolts too, but my goodness.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
The man pretty much there falling ill, about to drop in this case here, and you still can't find a way to win the game at home? Come on.
I hear you, but here's the thing, though. Phillip Rivers, not exactly the greatest. I guess, I don't know. It's real tough, man, because the Chargers, they should be better than what they are. But, again, I don't know.
I wonder, man. Maybe a deal got happened. I mean, true Phillip Rivers, he's a top 10 quarterback. I don't know. Some years
statistically, it shows that he is. However, he's still, when it comes down to facing the big money and the money quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think I could call 10 quarterbacks before I feel like I could get to Rivers.
Yeah, man, because I mean, Rivers loses big games against big teams.
Yeah.
Like when it comes, like when he faced the Patriots, he can't beat the Patriots no matter where they play.
Yeah.
When it comes to Manning, for some reason, just again, doesn't show up. So it was a little bit of a disappointing loss for me, but it is what it is. But Manning is regressing, though, ladies and gentlemen. It is very apparent.
Yes.
If you don't know, it's very apparent. If you don't have that running game.
And this goes back to my point just now about the Steelers. When you have a team that's got skilled players like that, and then you have a funny team like Denver who's got a little issue, not a huge issue with the quarterback thing, but you see a little regression. All of a sudden, as the guys were saying today on the radio, all you need is a home playoff game. You take care of business, and look, you're in the AFC Championship game. Yeah, all bets are off at that point.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to be facing Big Ben and those guys at the AFC Championship game. I don't care who it is that you're playing. So we'll wrap it up there, man. Some interesting games. So we'll get into to this week's games. So here we are now, big three for this week. Chiefs Steelers is our game number one. I'm parlaying two games for a reason, because I think this is going to determine the playoffs really for the AFC. So Chiefs right now pretty much are on the outside looking in. Pretty much you can call it a day with them, but they could be spoilers at this point for Pittsburgh. I believe Steelers at home. I think Steelers take care of business in this game. I think at this point now they can see the finish line. They control their own destiny at this point.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be I think Kansas City's going to try to play spoilers. It's such a shame, because Kansas City is a dangerous team.
How dangerous team you got Alex Smith? Like, really?
Come what, though? Man. Can I say this?
Dude,
I'll bet you the San Francisco 49ers will say otherwise.
Well, you think so? Well, I'll take that bet with you.
Okay.
If you think Alex Smith's going to get the AFC Championship?
No, I'm not saying. No, I didn't say that. No, that's not what I'm saying.
My point is this. Risk and reward, Eve. In this case, you can't have the story both ways. You can't say, they have Alex Smith now. Well, you can't forget what happened.
Listen, we're going to that
point.
We're going to that San Francisco thing.
You can't make that argument and say, okay, well, I would rather have him, and then say, well, I don't think you can get
the results speak for itself, man. The results speak for itself. I wasn't a big fan of how he lost his job. I'm not an Alex Smith guy, but the guy looked a little bit competent.
He's still proving the point from San Francisco's standpoint. The cool Jay Jackson, what have you done for me lately?
I hear you, but listen, he got his money. I'm not going to come up and knock it, but I'm just saying that right now, in regards to Kansas City, it's a shame, because for some reason they can't seem to throw the ball to anywhere.
Because he is not that good.
I wouldn't say that he's not that good. I just think that he's just efficient he just plays to his strength.
Ending receivers' careers.
I don't know. That was prior before. No, can I be honest with you? That was prior even before. That was prior before he even got there. They weren't doing anything. I understand. That. I hear you.
How are you a Kansas City receiver and you're going to negotiations? Well, we're on the free agency. Well, I know I can play. And then someone that says this, you're killing men's livelihood. Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, he got paid, so it's so different right now.
He is absolute garbage. Okay.
Hey, well,
even sun shines on a dog's backside once in a while. Tim Tebow's throw an odd touchdown once in a while to a receiver. Give me a break. Zip. You get one yet?
It's a shame. It is a shame that Kansas City's not going to make it, because
you can't get around that. That's brutal.
The D played pretty good this year. The running game is phenomenal. Unfortunately, there ain't no passing attack except to their tight end and their backs.
They score one yet? Because I didn't know that.
Their tight end?
Yeah, their receiver.
Oh, no receiver. No, none at all. None.
Good. This is embarrassing, man. Anyways, give me Steelers. And I think in this case a rout.
I think the Steelers. You think it's be a rout?
A rout.
Ooh, I don't know. Kansas City's pretty good defense.
They played that great on the road to me. They took, they played okay, but I don't see them in this case. I think these dudes are done for the season. I think in this case, Alex Smith, in this case, with his offensive prowess or lack thereof, is just a downer for this team. You feel you have no hope in winning. I'm sorry.
I didn't say they're going to win the game. I just basically said that he's going to be. I think it's going to be a lot closer than we think.
Watch what you say, folks at home. Check this out. Watch the scoreboard. If it's over 21 points, it's a guaranteed win for Pittsburgh. I find it very unlikely that Kansas City's going to be able to put up enough points to keep up with Pittsburgh. That's just my thoughts on it.
Jamal Charles, man. Jamal Charles.
Well, you got one weapon. That ain't gonna be enough to bring it. You bring a water gun to a fight with.
He has a little. He might be that water gun, but he got a little bit of spring to him.
Yeah, well, that's good for the water gun, man. We can dose that out real quick.
Okay, all right.
All right, game number 2, also tied to this now. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. Monday night game, I believe, or it's a Sunday night game. Denver, Cincinnati. Now, this game, I believe Manning will be playing. In true Cincinnati form, I believe Cincinnati will lose because in this case, it's a big game on national television, and we know them. They pretty much turn into the pumpkin when it turns to midnight. So in this case, sometimes it is what it is. If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's a duck. And when it comes to Cincinnati, that's what it is, pretty much, man.
Yeah,
I expect them to lose. Denver to win. Hey, folks, look, I'm picking Denver this time. Hey, now knowing my luck here, they'll throw up, they'll toss up their cookies this week. But I picked Denver for once.
I think that Denver's going to surprise us with the running game because I'm telling you, Manning is just not doing it. He better listen. If Manning can just basically play within the offense and let the running game do its job, and he just basically conducts it,
the dude's arm is dead.
It's dead. I think it's dead.
It's been dead for a while, but it's now it's like dudes quarterbacks are even sitting there. They're just sitting there just playing on the Thomases. Like, you know what? We dare you to throw deep. Please dare you to throw deep.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
we haven't seen patterns no more.
No. Well, the guy's getting knocked out for about 3 weeks with it. So
every time he does it, exactly.
Because he's had the ball hanging up there for so long. Game number 3. Going back to the NFC on this one. Who we have for the game number 3 here? Dallas. Oh, yeah, Dallas. Conference thing. Dallas and the Colts. Mm-hmm. No, sorry, my apologies. Seahawks, Cardinals. That's why I had NFC on.
That's good. Can we just call it a wrap?
I was thinking Cowboys, Colts would be a more compelling one. Who you want to go with? Cowboys, Colts, or Cardinals, Seahawks?
Cowboys. Well, firstly, I think the Cowboys will win that game. I mean, I like Luck, but turnover prone, a lot of the offensive line issues. Not liking the way they've been playing, so I'm not really sold on them. But I think that gotta say though, Arizona's a fun team. Coach Arians is. I think Coach Arians is doing one masterful job here. But when you get down to your third string quarterback,
okay, yeah, true. That's the reason why I don't even want to deal with. That's a wrap. Seattle, and that's a wrap. So let's go with what we had: Dallas versus Indy, which I think is a more compelling matchup because I think Arizona's going to stumble in the playoffs, and I think it's a wrap for them. But as far as Dallas and Indy goes, 2 teams in this case that have lack of testicular fortitude, as your man would say, Mick Foley. 2 teams that you really wonder sometimes about, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to see who's going to cough at the game faster.
Yeah, because Luck's thrown 6 picks for TDs.
Hey, now folks at home, what did B tell you? All right, I had the mascara out.
That's messed up. Hey, well, you know what? They absolutely have no running game
whatsoever. I had the red blood out, and then you still see dudes like ESPN trying to cop pleas for this dude. Oh, don't worry if he throws a couple of picks. I said, I see. He's the first quarterback we just allowed to have multiple picks, and it's no problem.
6.
Let that be Kaepernick, or in this case, or RG3 or Big Ben, and let me see what they're gonna say, or Cutler. But when Mr. All World, Mr. ESPN Luck is like, don't worry about the pick 6. When you get the pick 6 disease, ask your man out there in Houston last year how it worked out for him. I ain't saying he's gonna be going down all next week. He's gonna be looking for a job or nothing like that. But that's a hard thing to get out of your system. And when people read tendencies on you, that ain't good.
Boy, yeah, man, because they have no running game.
Dude,
oh my goodness, and he's just getting smoked.
So I mean, I understand Luck's got skills. I ain't saying that, but all I'm saying is that listen, young quarterback struggle. It just ain't RG3 or Cap in this case. They can struggle at different levels. And my point was always with Luck is like, listen, look past what the big numbers are and look how this team is playing. I say that from week 3. I didn't like how they're playing even when they're putting up big numbers. And at some point, it was going to come back to haunt them. It's coming back to haunt them now, man. You can't be giving away the ball and tossing it all over the place and think you're going to win games.
I hear you, but when you got no running game to do nothing with it, and that's they depend on him
You
just
know,
like as if they depend on him just as if he was Manning back in the
hold
day.
on. Let me. Okay, look, apologists. I'm gonna have to come at you guys with this. When last year, when he was all world, they had no running game then either. Okay, so it's not like all of a sudden they had, like in this case, the next coming Tony Dorsett or even
Not saying
Edwin
that, but they
James.
had a semblance. They had a semblance of a.
They had
They
no
didn't
real
have a
running
semblance of
game.
a
They
game.
had no running game last year. They would have gone for the boy for Cleveland if they had a running game.
Well, the fact about it, well,
So that argument's out the water for me as far as I'm concerned. The team's never had a running game since they had luck. They didn't have one, you said, with Manning. They never had one since they had to go back to Edwin James when they had a running game. So to me, it's like you built your team with that philosophy. It worked out fine for you last year. He was the golden boy. Fine, so be it. He was the cerebral assassin. Fine. Now, all of a sudden, now the picks are coming down regular now. He look a little more ordinary. How about this? In this case here, just like all the other young quarterbacks, you got some things to work on. Folks have picked up tendencies. Defense have figured you out a little bit. You now have to evolve, just like all the other dudes in this case here.
True.
Happens to all of them. And I think in this case here with luck, that's what's happening here. Because the running game, yeah, that's true, but that was the case last year. And
yeah, I also think that just came across my head. The AFC South is not that great of a division, so there has to be a winner in that division.
Right.
Like so, technically, they're the best of the whole lot of the worst of them. So
Well, that's my point. I was making even last year. I think we were discussing something earlier this year when we were talking about Cap and Wilson. I said, look what Luck's playing with. He's getting 6 straight wins every year. So we'll see, man. Anyways, interesting games. I think by this weekend we'll see our playoff picture kind of like starting to come into form.
for sure.
Yeah. Topic of the week this week in the NFL. Oh man, the Bears. Oh, what a mess in the Windy City. They get dropped 31-15 on Monday night against the Saints, and and I don't know where to start with it. The coach, the GM, the quarterback. It's a hot mess. The defense, it's a hot mess across the board. I don't know where to start, man. Okay. Let me collect my thoughts. You go ahead.
Okay. Well, 3 people are going to lose their jobs because of this situation. Jay Cutler, it's going to be very difficult for him to come back to that locker room. Personally, I'm surprised that guys haven't whipped his behind in the locker room, to be honest with you. The GM, horrible job. I'm sorry. You cannot pay Jay Cutler that kind of money. The minute you did that, everybody comes up and says, well, was there another quarterback that was available? No, you let things play out.
Well, I would go back one more decision that he did in this case here.
Right. And and the thing about it is, Trestman has a major problem because the problem is very simple. Obviously, like from a statistic point of view, it seems to be that Cutler looks like it has improved up to this point, but for the last month, no. And also as well, the offensive coordinator making leaks about this dude to the media.
And what's up with the assistant coaches now playing like deep throat?
I mean,
it's in the NBA with Mark Jackson. Like, what's up?
Like, I'm thinking to myself, look, if you want to get a head coaching job, do what you got to do.
And hush your mouth.
Hush your mouth, do your job, and get recognized, and let your work come and get you a job. But when you're starting to undermine coaches like that, a head coach, oh my goodness gracious! And you see, that's what happens when you have a real big staff. You know what I mean? Because then you got people with their own agendas. But the minute that came through, I said, okay, that's a death nail on that guy. You know what I mean? On Trustman, because that means you can't control your staff.
Well, I think what is shown in this case here is that the decision to get rid of Lovie Smith was the first domino.
Bad move,
and I think what Lovie Smith did was he mitigated. In this
Correct.
case, he said, okay, Jay Cutler, I know who you are and what you are. And in this case, I'll treat you like how a child will get treated. I'll give you a little bit of responsibility. But I ain't let you stay at home and babysit the kids.
That's right.
I ain't trust you that much.
Right.
True. I let you stay out a little late, but you got to be home by a certain time. Mm-hmm. And in this case here, and what I say by that is that Lovey in this case was balancing the offense. Forte was the feature.
That's right.
Cutler didn't care for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they will play off of Forte's, play action stuff like that. Now they're saying in this case, hey, we got all these wide receivers, we got the sports car, we want to take it out for a drive. That's all nice and dandy, but you got to learn how to drive first. And the problem is that in this case here, once you let the brains out and Lovey didn't have that, and Trestman came in, quarterback guru to the stars. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, everyone felt like, oh, hey, now we got the substitute teacher, we can do what we want. And then that's what you see. All this regression in this case here. Not that Cutler was ever great with getting the fundamentals to begin with, but throwing off the back foot like no one's business. I mean, it kills me when I see like Cutler doing this. Everyone jumping down RG3. I'm like, good Lord, Cutler's been brutal for about a year and a half.
No, he's been more than brutal than a year and a half.
I mean, this dude is like,
he's Jeff George incarnate.
He is.
He is. That's basically what it is. It's Jeff George incarnate. The difference is they didn't pay Jeff George a lot of money before he left.
That's the thing with Cutler too. That I'm always amazed with, and I think finally the veneer's off. Where I'm trying to think of another player in another sport that gets this type of benefit. He gets talked about like a big time player, but when you look at his numbers, it's a mediocre quarterback, and I can't figure out what other player in any other sport where I can say, you know what, when you look past, the hype and this and that and the arm or wherever it may be in whatever sport, you look right at their numbers like, dude, you're just a mediocre player. And I can't find an equivalent anywhere.
As I said before, with me, I gave him a little bit of a pass when he was in Denver because I thought, after they got rid of Marshall, then he thought, okay, you know what? But he had Shanahan there as the offensive coach, right? Like he was the head coach. But then when he just went to Chicago, I mean, man, every year there was always something with that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe the injuries aside, but he always regressed at the bad time of the season. And, you always heard the whispers like, the guy's sullen. The guy has a cloud on his face all the time. He pisses guys off left, right, and center. I'm just surprised he doesn't get beat up in practice. That's just me.
And this is the part I was talking about when we talked about some of these other quarterbacks struggling in the last couple of weeks. These other quarterbacks, I think, still have possibility of hope.
It's true. Yeah, of course. Most definitely.
Cutler, in this case, here is done. Like, he's a dude, like, he is what he is.
He ought to be kissing his agent every single time he looks at his paycheck.
Yeah, this great timing in this case here. It's perfect timing for him. That's what it came down to.
Shame because Chicago offensively, but as you said before, Matt Forte should have been the focal point of your offense. Period, point blank, end of story. I know you have Brandon Marshall there. Maybe he probably you probably would have gone psycho over the fact that his numbers weren't there. But the fact about it is, you should have. You know what the tools that you got. The guy's the engine of your train, and yet you've treated him like crap. Basically, he just said, "Listen, man, I just play. Whoever's the coach is whoever's the coach." That's what Forte said. So basically, he's saying in essence, you know what? They didn't want to get me involved.
Yeah, it's gonna get ugly in Chicago as soon as the season's done, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Pretty much by January 1st, wherever that last game is.
Black Monday, guy. Wherever that Black Monday comes, right after the season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're jettisoned, all of them.
I think you're gonna see a few areas where GM and coach go.
Gotta go. I think so.
As far as there, New York. I have one other one that I was thinking that might be a possibility. Depending what Harbaugh does, it could be Oakland, same thing.
No. Oakland, no. That needs a major house cleaning, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Oakland's gone. Sure. Whoever's there now, they're gone.
So the Bears, man, I don't know. I'm sorry for you Bears fans. Garth out there, sorry to hear it. It's a sad time for Chicago fans, man. Well, let's move on. Fantasy Insider Time. Yves, who you have for us this week?
Well, for a majority of you all, I know that this is now the final week of your fantasy teams. So for myself, I would choose Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, again, is facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Had a horrible game in Buffalo, predicted, and which we expected.
Yep.
So he's going to light our ass up in Tampa Bay.
And once again, can't close out in a close game.
Yeah, man. But he's gonna light Tampa Bay up. As much as I like Lovey, and I think that Lovey might have something for them, that they just don't have the personnel to do it this year. So I got Rodgers basically 35-45. I'm saying about 400 yards, 4 TDs, because I think that they're gonna play pretty angry. Yeah. The next game that I got there, I definitely have again the Steelers, Mr. Bell. Come on, ring my bell. Brother, you're doing the job, but as much as I think that they're running you to the ground, man alive, just phenomenal year. Just a phenomenal year. Expect him to basically run on the Chiefs a little bit. I'm thinking about 130 yards, 20 carries, and I also expect probably 6 catches too, and about 50 yards and a TD as well. So Mr. Le'Veon Bell. Now the next game, Tom Terrific against the Jets. Jets ain't got nothing to play for.
He loves the Jets.
And he loves them Jets. He loves just like barbecue chicken. He loves them Jets, guys. So I'm gonna choose Mr. Brady. Basically 350, 350 yards, 3 TDs, and a butt kicking there as well. So
For real.
this is probably the last week of Fantasy Insider, but we can do a review. But it was a pleasure come up and talk to you guys a little bit about some fantasy, and I hope I helped you out with some picks.
All right, man. Thank you very much, Eve. So where can the good folks find you?
You can find me at Y Charlem.
Okay, you can find me at Beyond Locker Room, short for RM, and my voice is barely getting through the rest of the show. Anyways, folks, it's been fun. Take care. We'll catch you just before the holidays. I think we'll have a show just before Christmas. We'll try to get it out for you guys for the Christmas week. Anyways, take care, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.
Bang, bang.